It is a beautiful day for an unboxing. And that's exactly what we're going to do today because Latoonie has sent us a goodie. Pretty sure I know what this is. This was a pre-order from quite a while back, so we are going to crack into this thing and find out if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure it is because this was supposed to be here right around this time. So, well, we're going to unbox it together and find out together. So you can see they got the outer shipping box, which they do have their packing tape on there and everything. And then inside, they also send it in a different shipper box, and it is exactly what I thought it was. So we had pre-ordered the Wrestling Giant series, Nature Boy Ric Flair. So again, going back to their scale, Latoonie does a Giant series, which is equivalent to the classic LJN style. They actually have an Everest series, which is a very, very large scale, kind of like the 12-inch Hasbro Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan, that style. And then they have the little regular WrestleMatic, I believe they're called, which is just a regular Hasbro style. So this is their Giant series, which is their LJN. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to crack this open. So it just unfolds like so. Oh yeah, beautiful. You can see inside. He is from that promo where he's taking his clothing off, throwing his shoes all over the place. He's got money in his hands, throwing it around. Oh, that's pretty cool. They actually send you a punched, sticker, a hanger, so you could put it on there if you want to hang it on the wall or something like that. Because this is an unpunched regular card without anything on it, but you can just unstick this and attach it and put it on there if you want to. So there's the Ric Flair. Let me see if I can get him up close there. From what you can see in the camera without the glare, but you can see shoe in hand, money in hand, Ric Flair, Giant Series, black card, Nature Boy. And you can see he does have, you see better on the bottom, but he's got black socks on. So he's got one shoe on, one shoe off there because the other shoe's in his hand here. It looks like it comes out of his hand. So his hand is just a C-grip, and the shoe is an actual accessory piece. I do plan on opening him, which is good because actually it's bent a little bit here. Whatever, no harm, no foul. If I was keeping this mint on card, then yeah, I'd probably have to contact them and see what we could do about that. But it is bent in both these spots. But I am going to be opening him. And they do come with a Nature Boy poster as well. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and crack him open now, shall we? That way we can see him on display and see how beautiful this figure is. So let's get into that. All right, so we just pulled him off the card here. And I'm not sure if I showed you that first time. I don't think I did. But there's the back of the card where he's throwing his temper tantrum in the ring. And again, the pants came off, the shoes came off. He's just throwing things all over the place. So that's from that segment. We're going to discard this trash over into here. So each one of these also comes with the old school poster as well. So you can collect them, do what you will with them. It's just basically the back of the card again. But pretty cool homage to the old LJN figures. So again, so this is an accessory. This is the shoe piece accessory. So you can see a lot of good detail going on in there. With the almost looks like gator, material with the gold trim all around. So it is an accessory piece. And let me see here. I was wondering if the money is actually glued on. So the money looks like an accessory piece, but it's glued on there as well. So, but here's the Ric Flair himself. This is a beautiful figure. You can see here he's got the bandage on the top of his head there. He's got a ring and a bracelet, gold bracelet. So they got him blinging a little bit. He has already come out of his shirt. Let's see if we can put the shoe back in his hand here. Okay, shoe in hand, so he could toss it across the ring. Black pants, kind of coming down a little bit there, and you can see what I mean on the bottom. So you could clearly see one shoe and one sock. So absolutely beautiful figure. This is a LJN scale figure, and I will do a comparison to show you what I'm talking about with that, and compare it to a couple of different figures here. I have also some other Wrestling Giant series from Latoonie. Give these guys a chance. These guys, they make some great product. They had Demolition. They've got an Andre the Giant. They've got Macho Man. They do a lot of different Macho Man. So if you're looking for those classic guys, check out Latoonie. They've got some really serious product here, and they're just getting started. So they're a newer company, but this is an absolutely beautiful figure. It's going to look great in the LJN collection in the shelf over there. So again, shout out to you, Latoonie, for making such great product. So let's take a look at old Nature Boy in a comparison to some other Wrestling Giant series and some big rubber guys and some LJNs. Let's check it out. All right, so we've got Flair out and front and center for us to see. I did forget to show you, every one of their product has their logo right there. So you can see Latoonie Toys on the bottom there. So their feet have that in them. Let me throw his shoe back in his hand here. So he's about to crack somebody in the head with this thing, with his loafer here. Oh, it's funny. It says 6, made in Italy. Let me see if you can see that. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to put his shoe back in his hand here. We're going to stand him there. We're going to take some comparisons. So, like I said before, this is their Giant series, and we also have with us the Giant series Axe and Smash from Demolition. So we're going to compare him up. You can see they line up perfectly. So absolutely perfect. If I had my measuring tape with me, which I do not at the moment, you will see what their scale is. I'll have to grab that here in a second, but you can see it's the exact same scale. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so coming in hot here with the measuring tape, which I actually did have on me. Let's see here. So Flair himself comes in about 8 inches, as you can see there. Axe and Smash, right around the same height, about 8 inches. So these are 8-inch figures that are, I believe, and I will test them again with all these different lines here. We're going to test them and find out if that's the same across the board, but that 8 inches, 7.5, 8-inch figure is about what your LJNs were. So I did say this is the Wrestling Giant series. They did have the Axe and Smash. They have Ric Flair. They have Macho Man. They have a few different ones, but they also have an Andre the Giant. And I'm going to bring in Andre right now. And what's cool about this Andre is the scale. Andre, and I'll adjust the camera, is significantly larger than the other wrestlers. So Andre is coming in around 10 inches now. So you're going to get an extra 2 inches on that Andre figure, which is perfect scale compared to these other ones. So I know in the LJN line, he was crouched down to make the whole line kind of comparable all the way across, but Latoonie made him in a larger 10-inch scale. So this is still the Wrestling Giant series. It's just a larger scale Andre the Giant, or a real life scale, if you will, Andre the Giant compared to the actual normal sized wrestlers here. So let's move along and show you another one. All right, so straight out of the mean streets of Brooklyn, you've got the big rubber guys, Brooklyn Brawler here. And the Brawler, again, we're going to measure him out here, but Brawler himself stands about 8 inches, let's see. Yeah, just under 8 inches tall. So again, you've got that comparison going. So they fit in line with your big rubber guys as well. Bringing in an AEW Jazzware, Cody Rhodes LJN style, which we already knew that this scale was a little bit smaller here, but we will test it out and find out. Cody comes in about 7 inches. So yeah, you're losing an inch there on the AEW Jazzwares ones, but that is the Cody Rhodes compared to the Ric Flair. So he is an inch smaller. So although somewhat still in scale, you can put him in there. It's a little bit out of scale. So not perfect, but not horrible. All right, and lastly, coming in here
We've got our old classic vintage WWF LJN here. So I brought in a Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and let me just move the camera just a little bit here so I could show you the scale properly. And we'll bring in the measuring tape. And old Orndorff stands just under that 8-inch mark there. So you got Flair maybe an inch under, and Orndorff maybe about 2 inches. But if you look at the scale, if you look at the pose, Orndorff is doing, he does have his knees bent. So realistically, if they made him standing tall like Flair is, you're probably matching exactly, or Orndorff might be an inch taller. But a lot of these old classic vintage WWF LJN superstars are posing bent knees and stuff like that. The Hogan's got it. The Andres have it. A lot of the taller guys have it. So there you go. That's it. We've got big rubber guys. We've got Latoonie giant size collection. We've got the AEW Jazzwares, LJN style, and you've got your vintage LJNs. So, but that Ric Flair is the star of the show today. Throwing money, throwing boots, throwing clothes, throwing everything he's got at you because he can, because he's Ric Flair Daddy. Woo! All right, if you've enjoyed this unboxing, stay tuned for more on the channel here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And don't worry, if you see a limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun out there, just duck because he's got a shoe in his hand. See you next time on the channel.